3 years ago, if you were an online fitness coach and you wanted to make more than $500 a day, every single hustle guru, Gary V looking motherfucker will tell you just to work more. Post 3 times a day, DM more people, work longer hours, hustle harder. And you know what? You probably tried that and burnt out. And the fitness coaches who went, they're actually working less, because somewhere along the way they figured out what all of these hustle porn gurus don't want you to actually know. You don't need more leads, you don't need to post more content, you don't need to work harder. You actually need to do the opposite. You need to stop bleeding money from the leads you already have. Now, if you just go and throw some automations in a CRM and hope that's going to fix the problem, you're out of luck. That's like me handing you a DSLR with a massive fuck you lens on it and saying, here, go and shoot Coldplay. You're going to probably just end up with like blurry white photos. And also, how did you get a media pass? The tools don't matter unless you actually know how to use them. So I'm going to show you the absolute laziest way to get to $500 a day as an online business owner. Now, you've probably figured out lead gen to some degree. I don't really care, content, ads, whatever, referral partners, fantastic. If you're getting anywhere from like 10 to 15 leads a month, awesome, we can work with that. If you're not making that $500 a day, there's something broken between lead and client. Before we jump into it, let's do some math. And I hate math, so I'll keep it short. And I have to read off my screen for this one. So if you wanted to make $500 a day, that'd be $2,500 a week. If counting business days, you shouldn't be working the weekends. That would be $10,000 a month. On average, the Australian median income is about $1,296 I know exactly how much it is. It's about $1,296 a week. That is like 12, 24, like nowhere near $10,000 a month. And if you're already at like 5K a month, then you probably already have like 12 to 15 clients already. You only need to get like 10 to 12 more, get to $500 a day. So like 2 to 3 clients over 4 months or so, you're sweet. And with 10 to 15 clients a month, you should like conservatively be closing 2 to 3 at least from those, which is not that hard. But I'm going to show you the exact automations that I use with my clients to get to 15, 30, 50, 100K a month. They are stupid simple. Don't overcomplicate them. The first issue that I see pretty much every business owner has is slow response time to lead. If you do not respond to your lead as soon as they show up, they're gonna ghost. If you went and got ice cream, I actually went and saw Wicked last night. I went and got an ice cream beforehand at Baskin Robbins in Cooley. So I went to Baskin Robbins with my wife. I walked in, there was someone in front of me. They were getting served. Now I walked up to the counter and there was a guy serving the other people, and I saw another employee standing there on her phone. She saw me come in, she didn't do anything. I almost turned around and walked away. I waited though, because I really like ice cream. That just proves the offer is good enough. People will wait. I waited because I knew I wanted the ice cream and I'm just going to buy it straight away. If she'd stayed there and the other guy wasn't serving people and I didn't know I was going to get served now and didn't approach me for 24 hours, I'd be a little bit pissed off. So when someone sees your Instagram, has been following you for a long time, and puts their hand up to work with you, fucking speak to them straight away. And the way that we do that is by setting up a really simple workflow that addresses them as soon as they come in. So you've got your inquiry form that needs to be linked to a method of you texting your clients. For me, I use Go High Level. It's a CRM. So when a lead comes in, you send a message. It can be really simple. It could be something literally like, got your application, here's what happens next. Now, if you have something quirky about yourself, like say you surf, for example, hey, name, probably out surfing right now. I would be keen to speak to you to do blah, 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 blah. What's something that's been stopping you from hitting your goal? Here's the link to book in, hit reply, whichever's easiest. Starts the conversation and gets them flowing with you. Now, the reason this works is because if people are responded to within 5 minutes, like the data shows like 80% more likely to close. But at the end of the day, it really just comes down to giving a fuck. If you care about your clients and if you want to address them as soon as they come in, and that shows a level of respect to that person coming in. It opens the conversation, gets them a reply, and gets you moved. Now, the second thing is if you take sales calls and you get a lot of objections on those sales calls, that's your fault. Every lead in fitness, other businesses as well, have similar questions. I'm going to read them out to you right now. Cost, timeline, will it work for me, coaching style, and can I do this with my schedule? If you can address those 5 things before they actually get on the call, they are coming to a call pre-sold. Now, if you don't do sales calls, You need to address these in your like email marketing nurture sequence. Same thing, either side, you just need to address them. The way that you can fix this is spend 20 to 30 minutes of your time, write out every single objection that you face, and then overcome them inside a nurture email that you can then send to those people before they get on a call with you. If you can do this, they already have the evidence that you've done what you say you're going to do in the call. They don't come to the call feeling intimidated that you're going to bombard them with all of these like sales tactics or whatever. And you get on that call and you can actually just like sell them and be like, hey, you read the emails? They say yes. You say, fantastic. Any questions? And they say no, and you close them. Oversimplification, but you know what I mean. Now, the way that you do this is in your CRM. If you don't have one, probably get one. When they book a call, the confirmation email needs to just be a standard confirmation email. Within 24 hours, you should send them a couple of emails. Don't bombard them, but a couple of emails with a delay. It also reminds them to show up to the call. So your reminder emails should be an opportunity for you to plead your case why you're the right person to help them with their journey. If they are having doubts of working with you, and they go into the call hesitant, then they're not going to be an easy sell for you. And it's going to create a bad dynamic to begin with. I actually got a example of these templates that I can share with you. There you go. I'll put it in the description. So a couple of those subject headlines might be why most coaches can't get you past your goal, why you failed in the past, story of Sally. And the third biggest thing is no-shows. When you actually get someone to book in and then they don't show up. Let me break down no-shows for a second really quickly. If you were a PT on a gym floor and you booked in a session and it was a 45-minute session, my sales call is about 45 minutes, and you charge $100 for that session, that means your time is worth $100. I don't know if you're like me, but if I have a call booked in for 3 p.m., the rest of my day is dead. Like, it's really not going to be that productive, and I'm going to be thinking about that call all day. So I've probably killed 3 or 4 hours before that call in terms of productivity, and the actual call itself is 45 minutes to an hour. So if you go on those numbers, $100 per session, let's just round it up to an hour. $100 an hour, 4 hours, it's $400 worth of productivity of time that I've wasted if that person doesn't show up to the PT session. The exact same thing is for no-shows. Getting people actually to get on a call can be tough. There are ways around it. Absolute minimum, what you should be doing is what I just said, the reminder emails. When it does actually come time to call them, there's a little bit of finesse in this. So if you want to take sales calls on a phone, like you actually speak to them on the phone, that's going to be easier to get them to actually show up on the call. If you want to get them on a Google Meet or a Zoom, it's going to be harder because it feels more committal. A set for a phone call, you call them, means you instigate them and you interrupt them. If you are asking them to get on a Zoom or a Google Meet, that requires them to take extra steps to actually join the meet. So when it comes down to actually joining, the higher friction it is to actually show up to the meeting, the more they're just going to bounce. Here's the truth about most no-shows. Most of them want to be there. They either forgot, they got nervous, they are convincing themselves in their head that hey, I'm not really ready for this. It's not because they didn't want to work with you specifically. So they didn't mean to waste your time. So no-show recovery is a sequence that you can put people into. We'll nurture them again until they show up to the call. So first couple of messages, text message and email that you send, hey, totally get it, life gets busy, just want to see if you want to book back in. And then you delay these reminders once a day for the next 7 or so days in your CRM. So you send them automated that allow you to, again, re-nurture them and at an attempt to get them back on a call. The biggest way to reduce these no-shows is by speaking to people before the actual call. So this isn't an automation, but you should know this. When you get a lead, if you call them straight away, that's the best thing you can potentially do. But I said SMS them before, but if you can call them and say, hey, Matt, I'm super excited to speak to you. I had a quick look at your application. I think you're going to be a great fit for my coaching. Are you going to be able to come to a call in 2 days' time? And he goes, oh, yeah, I can do that. I can come to a call. You've already got him agreeing, saying that he is the type of person who will show up to that call. That is the best way to reduce no-shows. However, the sequence that I've just mentioned is very important as well. It's not one or the other. It's you want to do both. If you can do both, it increases your chances of them showing up. If you're getting like 10 to 15 leads a month, let's just see what happens if you actually start treating them with respect that they deserve of someone walking into your ice cream shop and asking for ice cream. Now, you can build this yourself. You may not have the CRM, you may not have the automations, you may not have the time, or you may not be technical enough to set this up. So this is literally what I do. If you want to work with me, then the link is in the description. If you want the templates that I mentioned as well for the emails, you can get that as well. I'll provide that to you as a lead magnet for your details, because I want to work with you as well. Anyway, Have a good day. Bye.